Good morning, YouTube! And hello to all you good, not so good, or just plain bad people. This is a rather rousing image, is it not? Well, I'll get to the point. This little vlog, I guess you almost call it a podcast, really, at this point, is called, well, it's just my thoughts on capitalism. A very stirring title, is it not? So, yeah. There is a problem in this nation, and that problem is out of control capitalism, otherwise known as corporatism. We no longer have a properly free market. What we have instead is a government-regulated market, where only those people who pay into the government make any real profit. Now, am I the only one who sees a problem with this picture? Because I would certainly hope not. The truth is, in a capitalist nation, we need to make and spend profit responsibly. We need to pay in mind to the environment, to the safety of others, and to the safety of ourselves. And by partaking in corporatism, we are not doing that. We are spending and making profit irresponsibly. We are creating problems that may eventually, one day, spread to the rest of the world. What I am proposing is, when you make money, you need to know where it comes from, and ultimately where it goes. Now, I know that sounds difficult, but not necessarily. Alright? I'll have another video, because this will probably be a small series, really. I'll have some examples of corporatism in a part 2. Some more clear examples, and I will probably, or maybe part 2 will be more like talking about, checking where your money comes from, where it goes. Keeping it in mind. Know who you work for. I realize to some extent maybe that wouldn't necessarily be particularly livable, but, there comes a time when you need to stop being selfish and become more concerned with the consequences of your actions. Especially if you're a leader. And as an aside, this is why I voted for Donald Trump. He's already spent most of his life being selfish. Therefore, he is ready to be selfless. When you become a leader, see, if you're just by yourself, then you're only responsible for one person, you. But once you become a leader or a parent, then you're responsible for more than just you. You're responsible for others as well. And you need to be ready to hold that responsibility, to hold it onto your shoulders. Hillary Clinton, not ready. Most of her selfish exploits were failures. But Donald Trump has been a success for a long time, so he's ready. He's already been satisfied. He's already had his selfish urges completed. Excuse me. So honestly, that's why I chose him. But the same goes for making and spending money. The use of money affects the rest of the nation, perhaps in a small way. But that's a ripple effect. And I'm sorry, if I have to explain to you what a ripple effect is, that's just sad. Not to talk down to you or anything, but that's the truth. It's been explained many, many times, and I'm not going to bother. So my bottom line is, know where your money comes from, know where it's going, and stop feeding into corporatism. Because once they realize they can't exploit you for money anymore, they'll stop because they know it doesn't work. And that might sound naive, but that's just what I think. These are just thoughts, some ruminations, some musings. Just something for you to think about. Corporatism. Get in line for state-controlled capitalism. Hear the click, feel the boot, smell the fear, taste the future. Private profits, public risk, serfdom for all. How very, very true. Now, to talk about whether or not if we had a free market, you think a free market that isn't government regulated, well, can't they just use that to abuse us too? Not necessarily. Because an unregulated free market does not mean complete lawlessness. There will still be laws in place and certain regulations that corporations can't get around. A free market would be regulated primarily by people's sense of mores, by their moral values. Eventually, the corporations would shrink and become manageable because there would no longer be private profits. It would be public profits. It would be free profit. That's what people don't fucking get. Because so many people have grown up in corporatism, they don't know the difference between corporatism and capitalism. They don't. And here's the real kicker. What did Benito Mussolini say about corporatism? He said that fascism should really be called corporatism, as it is the joining of corporate power and state. Real quote, look it up. And you know what? If you're afraid of looking it up on the internet, then just fact check. Find it elsewhere. If you feel that you must. But the information is real and it's out there. In the age of information, ignorance is a choice. And in the age of corporatism, a free market is a must. Anyway, that's the end of this first part. Tschüss.